I'm not going to beat around the bush, this is not good news. Hi and welcome back to Joe Talks Cars, and welcome to another video, and welcome back to my Porsche Cayman 987S. You'll have seen in a previous video that I've had some issues with this car. Not issues, but one major issue actually, which is the oil consumption. The oil consumption was really concerning. Over quite short distances I was putting gallons and gallons of oil into it, and really worrying. So I thought I would do this video series and update you what's actually going on with it. So I said in that video that I would update everyone on the oil consumption after a good amount of miles under my belt. Well, I haven't had the opportunity to do that many miles in it, but I've now done 250, so I felt like now is probably a really good time to update you on what the oil is, what the oil level is like after such a short drive. And it makes for worrying viewing actually. It's not great news, let's be honest. I've checked the car in a few other areas around Oliver's Mount where I'm here today. Apologies if there's a lot of noise, because it's an Oliver's Mount race circuit and a lot of bikes are now deciding to pretend they're motorbike riders and they're just hooning it past. So yeah, apologies in advance for any noise. I've checked it in a few different areas across the circuit where it's nice and flat, and it's fairly flat here to be fair, and it's showing the same reading every single time, which I will show you in a moment. A lot of people had said to me that you need to make sure that you check the oil when the car is cold on the first start of the morning. It's the most reliable way on the Generation 1 Caymans to check the oil, which I am fully aware of, but my driveway is on pretty much a vertical slope, so I can't check it, because if I pull it off the driveway, park it in the road where it's flat, and then try and check it, the car wants me to wait half an hour. So it's not really practical. I need to wait for it to get nice and warm and bring it somewhere flat, which I do try to do, and a lot of supermarket car parks, petrol stations, perfect place to do it, and I've been finding the same results. So I knew the oil consumption was not great, so I thought today was the perfect opportunity to come out and update you all. While we're on the subject of my Porsche, I have done some little alterations to it while it's been parked on the drive, and obviously not doing that many miles. I've sorted out the front number plate, which you'll be all glad to find out about. You'll be really pleased. The stupid number plate advertising the garage is gone, so all I did was I stuck this nice gel one over the top, and it looks really nice. I'm just waiting for some caps to come from eBay to cover these over. I did actually toy with the idea of taking this plastic mounting plate off, which seemed like a good idea. I could get this stuck on really nice and flush. But what happened is it just kept falling off. This bumper's really curved, so you do need that on. So I've left it on, and I think it looks really quite good actually. It looks a hell of a lot better than it did. Also, in that other video that I did, I pointed out that the seal had gone on the door, so just under here this had like popped out, and someone said, oh, just pull it out. So yeah, just pulled it out for now. I'm a bit reluctant to spend any money on the seal for 15 quid when it could have bore scoring, which would be disastrous financially, so I've got to be really careful with what I spend money on now. So we're just going to jump in the car now and check the gauge, and I'll show you what it's like. Like I said, the car is fairly level. It's not perfect, but trust me, it doesn't matter where I go. This is pretty much what it's showing all of the time. So how long are you going to get us to wait? Oh, just 6 seconds. That's good. And there we are. Not only the bottom section is lit up, but it's flashing. Bloody flashing. Yeah, like I said, these people, there's some bikers up here that are flying around like crazy people, and they just came and mowed me down. So apologies in advance for the noise, but yeah, as you can see, it's flashing on the bottom bar. Someone correctly pointed out in my last video that the segments are not 500ml at all, they're actually 400, so I was slightly wrong on that. But I put a litre of oil in and that took me from flashing at the bottom to the 4th bar, so that doesn't work out. My maths is not very good, but that doesn't work. So that's just a mystery. The car is now showing it's flashing on the bottom bar, which would suggest, if those segments are 400ml, I've used 1.6 litres of oil and 250 miles. So it's not really great. No matter which way you look at it, that's not good news. The only positive I would take from that is that is highly unlikely. If the car had used 1.6 litres of oil in that amount of miles, that smoke would have been pouring out the back of that like crazy. It would have been like James Bond or something. It would have been mental. So it hasn't been doing that. And I have been looking every time I've accelerated just to see if I can see a puff of smoke. I've had people follow me and no one has said that it smells of oil and it's not smoking. So it seems very unlikely, but the car is showing empty. So I'm very reluctant to put oil in it. That's one thing I've decided I'm not going to do is, yes, it's asking for oil, but I feel like if I put oil in it and that gauge is wrong, all I'm doing is overfilling it, and that's worse. It's only just come onto the flashing light. I'm not going to do that many miles before I now take it into a garage, because I feel like that is the only option I have now, is to take it into my specialist. Thankfully, I live very, very close to a Porsche specialist. There's a car coming back round behind me now. Brilliant. Brilliant. Very strange. People are just quite odd, aren't they? Like, why would they do that? This is like, the road actually goes along up there, and this is like, you loop round under here, so they've obviously made a point of coming past. That's kind of weird. Anyway, I've lost where I was now. So yeah, I'm very lucky to live very close to a Porsche specialist. He's not actually a Porsche specialist, but he's a German car specialist. He's got a very keen interest in Porsches, and he has one himself, so he knows his way around these cars. So I'm going to take it into him and speak to him about what we can do. But my thoughts would be, at this stage, would be to drop the sump, measure the oil to see what comes out. And also, while we're there and the sump's off, I think I'm just going to replace that oil sensor, because it could be that. That would be an amazing outcome. That part is like 60 quid or something. And if I can just replace the oil sensor and fill it with oil and give the car a service and this problem is gone, happy days, that'd be brilliant. But it could be something worse. So, like I said in my previous video, if you've not subscribed to this channel and you want to find out what happens to my Porsche, I suggest you hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss a thing, because if it needs an engine rebuild, this could start to get quite expensive and interesting. So you don't want to be missing anything, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really does support the channel, and it helps me make more videos like this and get out and about in my Porsche, which is brilliant, good excuse to get out in it. So, like I said, I'm going to take it to a garage, and in the meantime, I'm not going to put that many miles on the thing, because it is quite concerning if it is burning that sort of level of oil. A few of you have said just to check underneath and make sure it's not leaking. Well, it's definitely not leaking. I've checked it while it's running, I've checked it while it's stationary. It doesn't leave a puddle anywhere, ever. It's leak free, and I'm pretty confident it's leak free. There's only one place that oil's going, and it's either out the exhaust or the sensor's telling me it's escaping and it's not. Interestingly, as I've been more conscious of the oil burning, I have been really conscious of like going around the back of it while it's running and seeing the exhaust and that sort of thing. And when I start it up on a morning, I'm super conscious about the amount of smoke that comes out of it. A lot of you have said that the smoke is normal, and I totally agree with that. I've seen lots of different things online about how Porsches smoke on a morning. First start, huge cloud of smoke, provided it doesn't smoke when it's warm, you're all good, and that is what this car does. It smokes on a morning, not when it's warm, just on the first start. Interestingly, since that video I did, hasn't smoked. Pretty much non-existent. Certainly never created a cloud of smoke. Whereas prior to it needing me to fill it up with oil, it was smoking, so it's very, very bizarre. Very bizarre. A lot of people had given me really good comments in the last video saying how they felt like it probably was the sensor or it was something else and not necessarily bore scoring, and that's really reassuring that you all think that it probably isn't bore scoring. Someone did actually rightfully point out that if it was bore scoring, this would have been picked up on that initial boroscope I had done, because although they went in through the spark plugs, if it was burning that amount of oil, that would be serious bore scoring, and they would have seen it, and they didn't. So That again, it's more reassurance that this is something else and it's not bore scoring. But I feel like it'll help someone if I just document this whole journey, really. So anyway, like I said in my previous video, if you don't already subscribe to this channel and you want to find out what happens to my Porsche Cayman, whether it's got nothing wrong with it or it's got severe engine failure, then I suggest you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, to make sure that you keep track of what is actually going on with this car. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, if you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already for plenty more videos like this to come. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.